Thank you for joining us for a special KBRFradio.com video streaming production. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Otter Tail Power Company and your Otter Tail Power Company pregame show. Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard. Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show. Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeouts. Ugstead Plumbing and Heating with your game time and temperature. Viking Cafe and Fergus Falls Apothecary with your keys to the game. Olson Oil Card Express and your Olson Oil Card Express postgame show. Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game. Nelson Auto Center and your Nelson starting lineups. Otter Tail County AIS Task Force. Liberty Business Systems. Service Food of Fergus Falls Monument. Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy Incorporated. Otter Tail Coaches and FM Bank of Fergus Falls.
And welcome back, everyone, to Game 2 of our doubleheader with Otter Baseball here, streaming live on the Fergus Now app and on Channel 977. Jason Retzloff with you here this afternoon. Dave Bishop on the production for our live stream. And happy to be with you as the Otters won Game 1 of the doubleheader 15-4 in 6 innings. Isaac Ellison, he was our player of the game, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 3 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts in the game. Some excellent individual offensive performances with Parker Tilke, 3 for 3 with a single, double, triple, 3 runs, stolen base, and an RBI. Levi King was 2 for 3 with a pair of runs, a pair of RBIs, a walk, and a pair of steals, among some other excellent hitting performances. The Otters win at 15-4 in that first one, and Detroit Lakes taking the field here. It's time for our Nelson Auto Center starting lineups on Highway 210 West in Fergus Falls. It will be the Otters who will be the visiting team in Game 2 of this doubleheader, and their lineup leading off at second base, number 13, Logan Larson. Batting second at third base, number 1, Karsten Froning. Batting third, the first baseman, number 16, Hunter Powers. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, number 7, Levi King. Batting fifth, designated hitter, number 17, Brock Sherman. Batting sixth, the catcher, number 4, Brant Sherman. Batting seventh, center fielder, number 11, Parker Tilke. Batting eighth, the left fielder, number 12, John Dent. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 2, Cam Wiedrick. For the Detroit Lakers, leading off at catcher, number 6, Noah Germain. Batting second, shortstop, number 1, Griff Lindberg. Batting third, second baseman, number 12, Cale MacArthur. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, number 3, Alex Specht. Batting fifth, first baseman, number 19, Holden Riding. Batting sixth, center fielder, number 2, Eli Hatch. Batting seventh, pitcher, number 11, Henry Peters. Batting eighth, third baseman, number 7, Max Ducharme. And batting ninth, the left fielder, number 4, Jared Ohm. The pitchers in this game for the Otters, it'll be Micah Johnson towing the rubber. Number 6, Micah Johnson, the junior. He played second base in the first game, and he'll be on the mound for the Otters. And for Detroit Lakes, it is Henry Peters, and Henry is out warming up right now, as DL is the home team in this one. Henry Peters, 9 2/3 innings pitched on the year. He's 0-2, 4 strikeouts, 18 walks, a 12.31 ERA, and a 3.41 WHIP. So a lot more walks than strikeouts with Peters. So Otters hoping to get some runners on base and get things going. That's our starting lineups, brought to you by Nelson Auto Center on Highway 210 West in Fergus Falls. And we're ready to go here. And Logan Larson's going to lead it off. Logan, the second baseman, batting .275 on the year. And Henry Peters winds as we are underway in Game 2. Larson shows bunt, pulls it back, and takes a ball. Logan, in the first game, he was 2 for 5. He reached base 4 times, 2 for 5, with a double, a single, a walk, reached on an error. He scored twice. He stole a couple bases, and he had an RBI as well. He takes a strike there, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Otters even their record with that win. They're 7-7 on the year and 4-6 in CLC play. Detroit Lakes 1-14, 0-10 in CLC play. The 1-1 pitch to Larson, that's outside, and it's 2-1. So Logan Larson, he was the designated hitter in the first game. He's playing second base as Micah Johnson moves from second to pitcher in this game. 2-1 pitch to Larson. And check swing. It's in there for a strike. And it'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes to Logan Larson. So Logan, the lefty, ready to go. And the 2-2 pitch from Peters. Off speed, swing and a miss. And Larson goes down swinging. So Peters gets the leadoff man. Logan Larson strikes out swinging. And that'll bring up Karsten Froning. It's time for our Ugsted Plumbing and Heating time and temperature. The temperature right now is 88 degrees. The wind is cool. It's gone down a little bit. It's 16 miles per hour blowing in from left field, and the time is 6:28. That's our Ugsted Plumbing and Heating time and temp. And here's the pitch, and that is high as Karsten Froning at the plate for Fergus Falls. Karsten, good first game, 2 for 4 in the game, a triple, a single, a pair of runs. And the 1-0 pitch, that catches the inside corner, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So Peters winds and the pitch, chop foul right. Good hands there by Coach Shane Tilke. Down the third baseline, 1 chopper, bare hand, not a problem, zipped it right back to Peter. That's impressive. But a ball and 2 strikes as Froning digs in. Here's the pitch. Up and in. And the count evens at 2-2. So Henry Peters on the mound for the Lakers. And winds and comes in. Blooper left side coming in. That's going to drop for a base hit. Off the handle just a little bit, but Froning fights it off into left field. And that'll be a 1-out single for Karsten Froning. Continues his good day at the plate. And now coming to the plate will be the number 3 batter, first baseman Hunter Powers. So Hunter Powers, the lefty first baseman. Game 1, Hunter was 1 for 3 with a single and a sacrifice fly. Now the runner is on the move. It is inside and an easy stolen base for Karsten Froning. No throw. Well, the Otters stole 8 bases in Game 1, and they are showing no signs of backing off on the aggressive base running as Froning now is at second base with 1 out. Otters, the visiting team. Now Froning's on his way to third. He's going to steal that one easily. They do throw this time, but he slid in well before the throw got there. So quick 2 stolen bases for Froning. So Froning now has 5 steals on the season. And that leads the team. Powers at the plate has 4. And here's the pitch. That's up and away. And it's 3 balls and no strikes to Hunter Powers. Powers batting around 500 on the year. He has a home run, 9 RBIs, great OPS, so well over 1350. That one's inside. That hit him. I think that hit him, and now the run's coming in. But I don't know if the run. Yeah, the run come in to score. Yeah, the run is going to come in to score. I'm not sure if it hit him, would the runner from third be able to come in, or maybe it didn't hit him. In any event, we'll call it a wild pitch and a run scored. Yeah, that's Mark Gulseth is coming over. I'm wondering if he's going to talk with the umpire. If it hit him, is the runner able to advance? And now there's a discussion, and I think that's what's going to happen. I'm thinking Froning may have to come back to third, because if it hit him, the ball is dead, and the runner can't come home. So Gulseth comes over, talks with the home plate umpire. Now they're having a discussion, the 2 umpires. Now, if it didn't hit him, it's a wild pitch, it's a walk, and they can come in and score. Yep, so it was a hit by a pitch, so it is not a walk. Froning goes back to third, and it's runners at the corner with 1 out. So Froning at third after a couple stolen bases, and that'll bring up Levi King to the plate for Fergus Falls. Levi, great first game, 2 for 3, couple of singles, couple runs, couple RBIs, and a couple steals, including a walk as well. So runners at the corners here in the top of the first for the Otters. 1 out, and Levi King, the cleanup batter at the plate. Froning at third, Powers at first. look for Powers to run here is what I'm going to be guessing here. Now they're going to throw over to first, and it gets by the first baseman, and a run's going to score, and Powers is going to get to at least second. Now he's going to keep going. He's coming to second on his way to third. The throw is cut off at the pitcher's mound, and on the air, Froning scores. The Otters lead 1-0, and Powers gets all the way over to third. So they kind of sensed what we were sensing, that it might be running, and they tried to quick throw over there, and a wild throw got by, riding at first. And here's the pitch inside. Almost hit Levi. Gets by the catcher. Hustling in and coming in to score on the wild pitch is Powers. So the Lakers not taking care of the ball defensively and on the mound. And those runners at the corners come in to score on an error and then a wild pitch. So 2 runs are in for Fergus Falls. And Levi King is at the plate with a 1-0 count. Nobody on and 1 out here in the top of the first. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Levi swings through that one, and it is 1-1. So Otters, the visiting team in Game 2 here. They were the home team with that 15-4 win in Game 1 against DL. The 1-1 pitch to King, up and in. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Henry Peters, the pitcher. He's at 16 pitches here in this first inning. That pitch, chopped foul towards the Detroit Lakes dugout. And the count is now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Otters play next on Thursday on the road at West Fargo in a doubleheader. And then we'll have our next coverage of Fergus Falls baseball a week from Thursday on May 22nd when Perham is here at Legion Field at D Lagoon Park. 4:45 pregame, 5 o'clock first pitch right here on Channel 977. Mark Johnson will have the play-by-play next Thursday. 2-2 pitch, and that one bounces to the plate, and that'll be ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Logan Larson struck out swinging to start the first. Carson Froning with a single. And then Hunter Powers got hit by a pitch, and here's the pitch to King. And Levi fought and fouled that one off. That was a strange ricochet. And the count will stay even at 3-2. After the single and the walk, and Froning stole a couple bases, some errors, and a wild pitch got those 2 runs in. Now King takes it low, and Levi will take the walk. Now he's hustling the first, thinking about going to second. Yep, he's going to try to take second. Here comes the throw over to second base, and Levi is out at second base. Aggressive base running for Levi King, and he gets thrown out trying to get to second base. So a walk, and then Levi thrown out. So that'll be the second out of the inning. And with 2 outs and nobody on, Brock Sherman comes up for the Otters. Yeah, it was one of those that wild pitch got by, and Levi sprinted down to first and just kept going. And as Sherman takes a strike, to DL's credit, catcher Germain hustled over, got the ball, and threw it, made a nice throw over to second, and able to cut off Levi King in what was a pretty close play. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Sherman. Fly ball, left field. Ohm is backing up. It's over his head. It's going to be extra bases as Ohm finally tracks it down. They throw it over. It's cut off, and it'll be a 2-out double for Brock Sherman. So Sherman with a 2-out double, trying to get the Otters another opportunity, and it'll be Brant Sherman coming to the plate, the catcher. Brant Sherman getting the start at catcher here in Game 2. Brant came in and pinched hit in the last game, walked and came around to score. And here's the pitch from Peters. Swing and fouled on the ground back behind the plate, and it's 0-1. Sherman on the year, .360 batting average, 2 runs, 2 RBIs, and .869 OPS. Henry Peters comes to the set, 2 out. Top of the first, Otters have 2 runs in, and the pitch, line shot, foul, goodness. That was a little bit of a dangerous one. Some kids playing catch in foul territory over there, and they didn't know what happened. It zinged by them about 6 feet left of them. Thank goodness for that. And it is 0-2 now to Brent Sherman as Brock Sherman takes his lead at second base. The set and the pitch. Swing, there's a fly ball to left field. Ohm under it, and he's able to make the play, and that will end the inning. And the Otters get 2 runs here in the first on 2 hits and 1 error and 1 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the first, Otters 2, and the Lakers coming up. You're listening to Otter Baseball, streaming now live on the Fergus Now app and on the radio on Channel 977.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food. Serving you best.
Coaches quickly, when I asked him before the game 1 of the doubleheader, was defense, and it sure played a role as in the first game. Otters had 5 errors in the first game, and the Lakers had 3 errors in that game. And Otters gave up 4 runs to Detroit Lakes, and 3 of those, only 1 of them was earned. 3 of them were unearned. And I think that's a big item with the Otters against Detroit Lakes, not giving them any hope with any extra base runners, extra outs in an inning, and to keep them at bay that way. And Mark Gulseth, coach of Detroit Lakes, he said the same thing. They're focusing on defense. That'll be the key to this game, sponsored by the Viking Cafe in downtown Fergus Falls and by Fergus Falls Apothecary. All right, bottom of the first, Noah Germain leading off for Detroit Lakes, and Micah Johnson is on the mound, and the first pitch is outside for a ball, and it is 1-0. Micah delivers inside, almost hit Germain. Fastball inside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Senior night here. And there's a fly ball to right field. Levi King has it measured, and he's right under it. Makes the play easily out in right field. So a fly out to start the first inning. Micah Johnson, according to the stats, has not pitched much this year. 1 2/3 innings pitch coming in with 1 strikeout, 2 walks. So Micah going to get a run here in the game 2 of this doubleheader, and he gets the outside corner for a strike to Griff Lindbergh, the shortstop for Detroit Lakes. And the 0-1 pitch, low and in. Lindbergh led off in game 1, and he was 0 for 2 with a walk, a run, and a stolen base in game 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Johnson to Lindbergh. That is low in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Otters trying to get above 500. They're 7-7 after the win earlier today, and there's a pitch fouled back into the netting, and it's 2-2 now. So the Otter defensive look pretty similar to before. Levi King is now in right field this game, as that one is in the dirt. It's full count now. Levi was in left field in the first game. John Dent getting the start in game 2. He's in left field. Levi moved over to right field for game 2. Logan Larson, who was the DH, is now at second with Micah Johnson moving to pitcher. Here's the full count pitch, and it is just off the plate, and that'll be ball 4 as Griff Lindbergh takes the walk. And that'll bring up Cale MacArthur for Detroit Lakes. Hale, really good hitter based on the stats. He had a tough first game. He was 0 for 3, struck out looking twice in the game. So, runner on first. Lindbergh takes a good lead over at first. Johnson looks over, and he'll come to the plate and check swing, and it'll be strike one as MacArthur couldn't hold. And it's 0-1. Johnson takes a look at first, comes to the plate, catches the outside corner, and it's no balls and 2 strikes to Cale MacArthur. He is the lone home run on the season that Detroit Lakes has this year. 255 average, 7 runs, 5 RBIs. And it's 0-2. Pitch from Johnson in the dirt. Kept in front. Runner's going to try to advance to second. They're going to throw down and not quite in time. Good effort there by Brent Sherman to keep it in front and get it down there, but advancing to second on the wild pitch is Griff Lindbergh. So 1-2, Lakers with a runner in scoring position here. Otters up 2-0. Bottom of the first. Otters put up 2 in the top. 1-2 pitch from Micah. That's low. A lot of pitches coming in low from Johnson, and it's now 2-2. Hot summer day here. 88 degrees. The wind has lessened a little bit since game 1. The pitch from Johnson fouled back. Right side, and the count will stay at 2-2. Wind is blowing in from left field. So we've seen it. Anything out there to left field gets held up. Pop-ups, the Lakers especially had a tough time with, as they had 2 pop-ups that they had dropped in the infield or foul territory with that wind pushing it hard from our vantage point left to right, looking from behind home plate. So 2-2 here to MacArthur, and the pitch. And just off the plate. That was a close one. But the count will go full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3-2, runner at second, bottom of the first, 1 out. And the pitch. Chop foul, just kind of behind the plate. And it'll be still a 3-2 count here with Griff Lindbergh at second. Noah Germain flew out to right to start the inning. Lindbergh walked and advanced to second on a wild pitch. 3-2 to Cale MacArthur, and that pitch is just outside, and that'll be another walk. And the Lakers threatening here in the first with runners at first and second, 1 out. And that'll bring up right fielder number 3, Alex Specht. Specht in game 1, 0 for 2 with a walk. Grounded out twice and then walked. And he'll turn and shows bunt, lays it down. Johnson hustling off the mound, picks it up, fires it over to first. It pulls the first baseman Powers off the base, and that'll be an infield single. A nice bunt by Specht as the Lakers trying to do anything to move the runners along and get base runners. And that was a very nice bunt. Dropped it down. Micah did a good job of hustling over to make the play. Had to hurry it, and under duress made a really good effort, but it'll be an infield single for Specht. And the bases are loaded with 1 out for the Lakers. And Holden Riding, first baseman, is at the plate. Here's the pitch from Johnson, and that is high, 1-0. Riding 0 for 3 in game 1. He grounded out 3 times, once to second and twice to short. And the pitch up and in. And now it's 2-0. Riding is the top batting average on the Lakers team, right around 390, 860 OPS. And it's 2-0 with the bases loaded and 1 out. Micah Johnson to the plate. Swinging, there's a high pop-up in short, back of the infield. Wiedrich is under it now, and Wiedrich, the infield fly rule was on anyway, but Wiedrich puts it away. Big out there for the Otters. And with 2 outs and the bases loaded, Eli Hatch will come to the mound. He was on the mound in game 1. He'll come to the plate. He's now in the center field position after pitching in game 1. And his first at bat of this doubleheader. Big moment here with the bases loaded. Big moment, as big as they come as far as the first inning is concerned. And he takes it outside, and it's 1-0. I already see a little difference in the strike zone from game 1 to game 2. The outside corner was really given quite quite easily here. Now Shane Tilke and yeah, just as I say that, Shane Tilke and the umpire came over to talk to Shane Tilke, and I'm wondering if the Otters are unhappy about the strike zone. Tilke not happy with something there, and I'm guessing it might be with the strike zone, as that one was a close one right on the edge of the corner. I think that would have been a strike in the first game, as umpire in the first game was given that one. Looks like it may not be happening here in game 2. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's high, and it's 2-0. 24th pitch of the inning for Micah Johnson here in the bottom of the first. Henry Peters had 27 pitches for the Lakers when the Otters got 2 in the top. Here's the 2-0 pitch, chop foul. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Lindbergh is at third, MacArthur at second, Specht at first, and at the plate is Eli Hatch, the center fielder. 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, and it's 2-2. So Micah 1 strike away from working out of this jam, trying to keep the Lakers off the board here. 2-2, 2 out, bottom of the first, bases loaded. And Micah to the set and the pitch. Line drive, base hit, left field. And the runner is going to be waved home. 2 runs are going to score, and there's a big 2-out base hit for Eli Hatch. 2 RBIs on the play as Lindbergh comes in to score. And also coming in to score is Cale MacArthur. And I just talked about a big chance, 1 strike away from getting out of it, but a clutch single for Eli Hatch. And now the inning's not over. First and second with 2 out. The game is now tied at 2. And pitcher Henry Peters on the mound, popped up in the infield. And coming in under it, Powers is going to come in from first, and Hunter Powers makes the play. So the damage limited to some extent, but a big 2-out, 2-run single by Eli Hatch ties this game up at 2, as Detroit Lakes, they get 2 runs on 2 hits and no errors and 2 left on base. Both teams get 2 runs in the first. We're going to the second. It's Fergus Falls 2, Detroit Lakes 2. Back with more Otter baseball in just a moment.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls and Grand Forks is your shopping stop for America's 3 favorite truck brands, Ford, Ram, and GMC. Whether you're towing, hauling, or just enjoying the open road, we have a truck for you. Half, 3/4, and 1 ton. There's a truck for every job. Stop and visit or shop any of our stores at NelsonAutoCenter.com. Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls and Grand Forks.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Light powers your day, and with LEDs, every time you turn on a light, it's a chance to save. See how Otter Tail Power Company can help you save at otpco.com/LED.
Farms and LG seed supplier, and the right choice to defend your crops. That's West Central Ag Air. Otters will have 7, 8, 9 batters coming up. Parker Tilke will lead off. John Dent and Cam Wiedrich will be coming to the plate here in the top of the second. Big game for Parker in game 1. He hit the ball extremely well. He was 3 for 3, a single, double, triple, 3 runs scored, an RBI, and a stolen base. He was all over the place for the Otters. He takes the first pitch, almost got hit by it, but it's inside for a ball, and it's 1-0. Henry Peters in the first inning, pitcher for Detroit Lakes, gave up 2 earned runs on 2 hits, had 1 strikeout, hit 1 batter. And the 1-0 pitch to Tilke in there for a strike, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1, Tilke steps in, Peters looks in, and he winds and delivers to the plate. Swing and a miss, swung through that one, and Peters gets ahead now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. John Dent is on deck. Dent came in and pinch hit, got a hit in the first game. Came around to score. Now Parker Tilke calls time. He'll step out, regroup. So 1-2 is the count and the pitch. Swing and fought off foul down the third baseline. And the count will stay at 1-2. Twins game at Baltimore postponed. So no coverage of Twins baseball tonight on KBRF. And doubleheader tomorrow. Strike three as they catch the outside corner. Parker Tilke strikes out looking. So Tilke leadoff strikeout, second strikeout of the game for Henry Peters. Yeah, the Twins and Orioles postponed tonight, so there'll be a doubleheader tomorrow on News Talk 1250 KBRF. As I scroll through, looks like the Twins will be at 11:05 tomorrow morning with Bailey Ober pitching, and then Game 2 shortly after. A couple games were postponed. Phillies game was postponed too, so a couple games postponed in MLB tonight. First pitch comes to John Dent. He fouls it off, and it's 0-1. John Dent, one of the seniors honored tonight on senior night. He didn't start last game, but he came in and was a pinch hitter. Got a base hit and came around to score in the sixth inning. In fact, got the run that made it 10 runs in the sixth inning to end the game. He takes that one low, and it's a ball and a strike. Top of the second, 2-2, Fergus Falls, Detroit Lakes, high school baseball here on Channel 977. And the 1-1 pitch from Peters. Swing, there's a soft liner, and that's in for a hit. Nice one there by Dent. So he's having 2 at-bats and 2 hits today in this doubleheader. Otters have a base runner with 1 out here in the top of the second. And shortstop Cam Weidrich comes to the plate. Cam, a very productive first game at the plate. Sacrifice squeeze bunt for an RBI, sacrifice fly for an RBI, and then he walked and scored with a stolen base in his third plate appearance. They throw over to first, and Dent gets back. So Peters looks in to his battery mate, Noah Germain. Comes to the set, and pitch is low and outside, and it's 1-0. John Dent has 1 stolen base on the air. He takes his lead. Not too big of a lead. He's not going anywhere. Here's the pitch. Weidrich pops it up, and it is in foul territory. Germain is under it in foul territory. He is able to get that one. And Weidrich is retired on the foul pop-up behind home plate. That's the one that the Lakers really struggled with in Game 1. They dropped a couple of those high pop-ups, and Germain able to put that one away. So 2 down, and Logan Larson now comes up. Logan 0 for 1, struck out swinging to lead off the game. Logan left-handed batter. Dent takes his lead at first. 2 out, top of the second inning, and it's 2 apiece here with Fergus Falls and Detroit Lakes. Larson calls for time. He's granted time. And he'll step out, take a moment. So Larson back into the batter's box. Dent takes his lead at first. And Peters comes to the set and now comes to the plate. It is low, and it'll be 1 ball and no strikes to Logan Larson. Minnesota Motor, one of our sponsors today. Their service department conveniently open from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. That's Minnesota Motor on South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. 1-0 to Logan Larson. Dent takes the lead at first, and there he steps off, throws it over, and it's a wild throw, but good break for Detroit Lakes. The throw was wild. That was destined to go down the right field line, but diving back in, it hit Dent as he was diving back, and that kept it right where the Lakers needed it in play, and Dent will stay at first. And here's the pitch from Peters, fouled back against the metal roofing up top, and it'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1 to Logan Larson. 2 out here, top of the second inning. Otters and Lakers both scored 2 in the first. Otters trying to get a 2-out rally going here in the second. Here's the pitch to Larson. Fly ball to short left field. That's going to be a tough play, hustling over his own, and he can't make the play, and it gets by him. That's going to be a run. Larson around second. He'll stay there. Coming in to score for Fergus Falls is John Dent, and the Otters take the lead 2-1. Larson put the bat on the ball. A high fly ball down the left field line. Ohm hustled over as fast as he could and couldn't get there in time, and it's an RBI double for Logan Larson. And the Otters regain the lead. It's now 3-2. And Larson is at second with 2 out. And Karsten Froning to the plate. Karsten takes it outside for a ball. Froning singled and immediately stole second. And on the next pitch, stole third. And then able to score in that first inning, the first run of the game. He takes it inside, and it's 2-0. Froning batting now over 250 on the year, 13 runs scored, 11 RBIs, his OPS approaching 700. And it's 2-0. Peter's already at 42 pitches here in the top of the second. The pitch took it off a little bit, and that's in for a strike. 2 balls and a strike. Yeah, bummer for the Twins. They're 8 in a row. You want to keep playing when you're winning. But they'll get a chance to go win a couple tomorrow in that doubleheader. There's strike 2 on the inside corner to Froning. The Orioles, they have not been playing well. They're one of the more disappointing teams coming into the year. Orioles at 15-24. They're one of the favorites in the American League. So 2-2 here, and the pitch, swing, and there's a fly ball to right field. Now backing up, still backing up, and able to put it away, though, is Alex Specht out in right field. So Froning flies out to right to end the inning. Now Otters do get a run on 2 hits and no errors, 1 left on base. Otters regain the lead. They lead at 3-2 on our Park Region scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the second. Back with more Otter baseball after this.
What's the record for the biggest walleye? What's the record for the largest goldfish? Wait, what? Never release aquatic animals or plants into our lakes and rivers. Help protect our waters and native species.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Ugstead Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Ugstead Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Olson Oil Cart Express of Fergus Falls is your one-stop shop. Propane tank refills? Check. Diesel for your trucks? Check. Gas, propane exchange, and bulk delivery? Check, check, and check. Olson Oil Cart Express, supporting Otter sports. The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe, with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Leading off for Detroit Lakes is the number 8 batter, Max Ducharme. He was a designated hitter in game 1. He pitched a little bit as well, too. He's the third baseman here in this one. Micah Johnson on the mound, and that one is high, and it's 1-0. Micah, 2 earned runs in the first inning, 2 hits, 2 walks. He was 1 strike away from getting out of there without any damage, but then there's a 2-run, 2-out single by Eli Hatch that got 2 in, and then Micah got Henry Peters to pop out to end the inning. That one's low and in. And it's 2 balls and no strikes, with Ducharme leading off the bottom of the second for Detroit Lakes. And here it comes from Johnson. Chopper up the middle. Wiedrich roams to his left, up with it. Throws to first. Easy play, and 1 down. Cam Wiedrich 6-3 on the putout, retires Max Ducharme. 1 out. Always nice to get that leadoff batter retired. And that'll bring up the number 9 batter, Jared Ohm. Ohm did not start in the first game, starting in left field in this one. Micah Johnson comes to the plate. And curveball's high, and it's 1-0. Ohm batting .231 on the year, 4 runs scored. 1-0 pitch from Johnson. That's outside. And it's 2-0. Otters infield. Carson Froning at third. Cam Wiedrich at short. Logan Larson at second. Hunter Powers at first. That one's chopped foul. You got Brant Sherman at catcher. Behind the plate, Micah Johnson on the mound. The outfield, John Dent in left. Parker Tilke in center. And Levi King roaming right field. 2-1 to the count. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Micah looking for his first strikeout of the game, as top of the order will be up with Noah Germain on deck. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that is low, and the count goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Micah Johnson winds, and the pitch, and there's a ground ball to third. Up with it, charging. Across it goes, and Otters get the out. Good play there. Carson Froning charging in from third. Good throw over to first, and first 2 retired by Micah Johnson. 5-3 on the put out there, retiring Ohm. And that'll bring up the leadoff batter, Noah Germain, the catcher. Germain is 0 for 1 in this game. He flew out to right to start off the first inning. Pitch from Johnson. That's outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Germain hasn't got a lot of at-bats this year, plate appearances, and he takes that one inside. And it's 2-0. Again, I really appreciate Shane Tilke and Mark Gulseth both providing stats for the games coming in. Nice to have those things to talk about. There's a strike. Fastball on the outside corner. 2 balls and a strike to Noah Germain. That was pitch number 40 for Micah here, as we're in the bottom of the second inning with 2 outs, nobody on. 2-1 pitch. And that's low. And now 3 balls and a strike. Griff Lindberg is on deck for DL. Germain ahead in the count, 3-1. Here comes Johnson to the plate, and that one is high, and ball 4. So a 2-out base runner for the Lakers. Third walk of the game for Johnson. And coming to the plate will be Griff Lindberg. Lindberg walked and scored in the first inning. Lindberg, the shortstop. He played second base in the first game. Germain takes the lead at first. And pitch from Johnson is low. And it's 1-0. So 1-0. Micah looks over to first where Germain takes his lead. 2 outs. Bottom of the second. Otters lead at 3-2. Runner fakes. Now they fake the throw to try pick him off, and getting back to first is Germain. The pitch was high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Lindberg batting a little over 200 on the year. 4 runs, an RBI. The 2-0 pitch. That's low. Gets away momentarily. Now hustling down to second. They're going to throw down to second, and he is out at second base. Great play there by Brant Sherman. The pitch was low. It got away from him just a little bit. Hustled over. A late dash to second from Germain. And Sherman cut him down at second. Beautiful defensive play by Sherman. And the Lakers run themselves out of an inning with no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We go to the third. Otters lead at 3-2 on our Park Region scoreboard. Back with more in a moment.
Hi, I'm Scott DeBrito. I had the privilege of wearing the Otter uniform Today, I have the privilege of representing FM Bank here in Fergus Falls. Show your Otter pride with our Otter debit card. Stop in and see us or visit our website at mybankfm.com.
What's your number?
I drove 113 miles.
And I drove 124 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
Business systems can be frustrating. Don't take it out on the printer. Let Liberty Business Systems simplify the chaos. With automated printing services and flexible contracts, you'll never feel frustrated or stuck with your business systems. Liberty Business Systems. Transparent, flexible, fearless.
And Henry Peters, he has 45 pitches for Detroit Lakes. And he has given up in 2 innings 3 earned runs. He has 3 strikeouts in the game. And given up 4 hits. Has not walked anyone yet. And Micah Johnson for the Otters, 2 innings pitched. And 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 3 walks. So it's 3-2, Otters with the lead. And starting the top of the third and coming to the plate is first baseman Hunter Powers. And Hunter Powers was hit by a pitch in the first inning and came around to score. And here's the pitch to Powers. That's up and away for a ball. A lot of pitches so far for both pitchers. In fact, Peters had 45 pitches in the first 2 innings. Micah Johnson had 44 in the first 2. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Big cut there by Powers. Didn't get any of it. And it's even up at a ball and a strike. We'll simply drive to Minnesota Motor Company for their hassle-free express lube. It's Minnesota Motor on South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. 1-1, Peters to Powers. Off speed. Catches the top part of the zone. And it's in for a strike. And Peters works ahead at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Peters winds and comes to the plate. That's outside. And it's 2-2. Powers batting right around 500, as we said. He scored 15 runs this year. Has a home run as well. And the 2-2 pitch inside almost hit him, and it's a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Peters has not walked anyone yet in this game, although he would have walked Powers the first time if it hadn't bounced and hit him. And the full count pitch. And fouled off at the plate. Good job by Powers. That was a tough off-speed pitch. Got a piece of it to stay alive. And it's 3-2. And here's the pitch from Peters. That's well outside, and a good job by Powers. He was down 1-2 on the count, fought back in the at-bat, gets the walk, and he's on base for the second consecutive time here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. That'll bring up Levi King. Levi walked in the first inning. It was a walk on a wild pitch, and he hustled around first, tried to get to second, but was thrown out trying to advance to second base. Levi's been on base a lot today with Game 1 and then Game 2. Here's the pitch to Levi. That's high, and it's 1-0. So that was Peters' first walk of the game. Levi batting around .310, 17 runs on the year, couple homers to lead the Otters, and 8 RBIs, OPS over 900. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, a little bit ahead of that one, and it's a ball and a strike to the Otter right fielder. So 1-1. Powers takes his lead at first. He's stolen 4 bases on the year. He's a threat to run. And there he goes. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Throw down to second, not in time. Easy stolen base. And Hunter Powers with his 5th stolen base of the year. Otters with their 2nd stolen base of this game. And it's a 1-2 count to Levi King with a runner at second. Otters have scored in every inning they have played in today. See if they can keep that streak going. All 6 innings in game 1, so they've scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second in this one. Now they have a runner at second with nobody out. 1-2 to Levi King. They're going to throw back to second in kind of a half-speed, unsure throwback to second. And Powers gets back. Peters looks in, goes to the set. 1-2 pitch to Levi King. And here it comes. And that bounces to the plate. Good job by Jermaine to block it and keep Powers at second base. And the count goes to 2-2. So 2-2 with Peters going to the set. And he comes to King. Levi, ground ball to third, and that gets by the third baseman down the line. It's going to be extra bases. Coming in to score is Powers. King around second, and he thinks about going to third. Probably a wise choice. And it'll be a RBI double for Levi King down the left field line. And the Otters keep that streak going. They've scored in every inning today. Every inning they played, all 9 innings they've played today. And they now lead 4-2 here in the top of the third of game 2 of our doubleheader. Hunter Powers has scored twice now in this game already. And to the plate is Brock Sherman, the designated hitter. King at second base takes his lead. Nobody out in the top of the third. And the pitch to Sherman catches a corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Sherman 1 for 1 with a double, was stranded at second in the first. And here's the pitch. That's inside. That almost hit him. Got out of the way last moment, and it's 1-1. The next pitch for Peters is going to be pitch number 60 here, as he still hasn't gotten an out in the top of the third. Sherman steps in. The pitch, that bounces to the plate, and it's now 2-1. King thinks about moving on, but good job again. Jermaine's doing a pretty good job behind the plate there, keeping the ball in front of him. So 60 pitches here for Peters, and no outs in the top of the third. 4-2, Fergus Falls with the lead. And the 2-1 pitch, swing and chopped. Well, that's foul. Went off of home base right in front of the plate. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brock Sherman at the plate. Brant Sherman is on deck. Levi King at second base. Nobody out. Top of the third. Fergus Falls leads Detroit Lakes 4-2 on our Park Region scoreboard. And here's the pitch. And that is high. And it'll be full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Brock Sherman, designated hitter. 1 for 1 with a double, and he's going to call time and step out and regroup. Levi King at second base. Lakers don't want to get more base runners on here, as it could be a potentially really big inning. Here's the pitch, and that is low and away, a wild pitch. It'll be a walk, and going over to third is Levi King, and now the Otters with a couple base runners, and then Sherman kept running to second, and the ump like, nope. They were, I think they were switching out the baseballs while he was doing that, so he goes back to first. But a walk for Brock Sherman, second time he's been on base today. King moves to third on the wild pitch. First and third, nobody out. And now Brant Sherman comes up. He flew out to left field his first at bat, 0 for 1 in the game. Otters can really put up a nice number here with 1 in already and runners at the corners and nobody out. Pitch. There's a blooper left side, and is it going to be fair? It is foul. My goodness, that was close. And Shane Tilke, the head coach and third base coach, gave the ump a little nod like good call by an inch. It was barely foul. A good call by the umpire. And from our view, it looked fair, but the umpire and Shane had a much better view than we did from up here. That must have been really close. So it's 0-1. And Brant Sherman at the plate for the Otters. And the pitch, that is low. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't know if the Otters would look to any type of running on the base paths. Brock Sherman has not stolen a base. Well, there's a wild pitch into the dirt. Coming in to score is Levi King. Sherman goes to second. The wild pitch gets the Otters another run, and it's 5-2. So Levi King scores. Brock Sherman goes to second. And the pitches continue to mount up for Henry Peters. He's got 21 pitches in this inning without recording an out. 66 pitches for the game. Nobody out, top of the third. And it's 5-2. Otters are up, runner at second. And it's 2-1 to Brant Sherman, the catcher at the plate. To the set and the pitch. Swing and foul off the handle. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brant Sherman, batting right around 350 on the year. OPS around 850. Parker Tilke's on deck for Fergus Falls, and the 2-2 pitch from Peters. And that is behind Sherman off the glove of Germain, and trotting over to third base on the wild pitch is Brock Sherman. So he gets to third, and now it's a full count. And after Peters hadn't walked anyone in the first 2 innings, 2 walks, laboring here in the third inning. And here's the 3-2 pitch. That is up and in, almost hit him, and another walk. And Brant Sherman to first. And it's runners at the corners with Parker Tilke coming up. So 3 walks in this inning after not walking anyone, although he would have had a walk had he not bounced one into Hunter Powers in the first inning for a hit by pitch. But Parker Tilke is up. Parker struck out looking in the second inning to lead off the second. Parker's batting right around 250. 13 runs scored on the year, 9 RBIs. And a little bit of a delay here. Umpire ready to go again. Tilke steps in, first and third. Nobody out, top of the third. Otters have 2 runs in, and they have runners at the corners. Nobody out, and the pitch. Runner goes. There's a fly ball to center field. Eli Hatch has it measured. Sherman tags at third, and he will come to the plate. The throw is there, and he is out. What a play by Hatch out in center field. That took an interesting hop. The ball landed, I think it landed on the mound and took a ricochet perfect roll to the catcher, Germain, for the fly-out, throw-him-out double play. Well, good play, really good play by Hatch, but that was, the throw bounced on the downslope of the mound and literally a perfect roll. I don't know if I've ever seen that. And it took a perfect roll right to the plate. Good take by Germain. And just like that, there's 2 outs. That's a big play for the Lakers. As now they're 1 out away from getting out of this inning. They throw over to first. And Brant Sherman gets back. Now the pitch, the runner goes. And on to second. And hustling in and diving in safely is Brant Sherman. So Brant Sherman steals second base. Third Otter steal of the game. And now they have another runner in scoring position with 2 outs here in the top of the third. And here's the pitch. There's a strike. So 1-1 is the count. As John Dent is at the plate. Singled and scored in the second inning. And the pitch. Line drive down the left field line. That's in for a base hit. And that's going to be extra bases. Coming around to score is Brant Sherman. And going into second is John Dent. Great day John Dent has had at the plate. That's an RBI double. 2 for 2 in this game, 1 for 1 in game 1, 3 for 3 on the day, RBI double. And Otters get another run. And they're up 6-2 as Brant Sherman comes around to score. And that'll bring Cam Wiedrich. Shortstop to the plate. Cam's 0 for 1. Struck out swinging in the second inning. Otters with 3 runs in here in the third. And here's the pitch. Catches the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. 6-2 is the score on our Park Region scoreboard. And Peters to the set and the pitch. That one's high, and it's 1-1. So in this inning, it's been a long inning. It has been 30 pitches in this inning for Peters, trying to get out of it. He's only retired 1 batter. It ended up in a double play. Wiedrich line drive, but it is just foul down the third baseline. That was close to an extra base hit, but it goes just foul, and it's 1-2. Inning started with a Hunter Powers walk, RBI double for Levi King. Brock Sherman walked, Brant Sherman walked, and then a fly-out double play by Tilke, and then that double by Dent. Here's the pitch low and outside. Now trying to advance to third, in trouble, diving in, and out at third base is going to be Dent. Is he? Or is he not? He's safe at third. We didn't get a real clear call from the umpire there. He just kind of pointed at third base. The ball beat him, it looked like, but might have been mishandled a bit by Ducharme. So runner at third here with 2 outs. And the 2-2 pitch to Wiedrich. Off speed, that's high, and it goes full to Cam Wiedrich. Otters up 6-2, top of the third. Game 2 of our doubleheader. Fergus Falls wins Game 1 over Detroit Lakes 15-4. Here's the full count pitch to Wiedrich. Swing, line shot, another one just foul. It almost took the head off of John Dent at third base. What a bullet that one was. And good to see John Dent with some good reflexes there to dive under that. The ball was a shot about 2 feet foul. Shane Tilke patting John on the chest like, good job. And it was a bullet right in between third baseman Max Ducharme and Shane Tilke. But it's a foul ball, 3-2 now. And the pitch to Wiedrich. And that's up and in, almost hit Cam, and that'll be a walk. Good at bat for Wiedrich, drawing the walk after hitting 2 foul balls like bullets. And that'll bring the top of the order. And Logan Larson now to the plate. So runners at the corners, 2 outs. 6-2 Otters with the lead on our Park Region scoreboard. Logan Larson, 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. Throw over to first, and Wiedrich gets back. 80 pitches in the game for Peters through 2 2/3 innings. And Otters, man, if they didn't have that fly-out, throw-em-out double play, they can still put up a real crooked number as they throw over to first again, and Wiedrich gets back. To me, the way the Lakers have thrown over to first, a little risky to keep throwing over there. They've thrown it into right field, down the right field foul line a couple times. And with a runner at third, you got to be careful throwing the ball around here. Larson steps in, the lefty. And the pitch from Peters. That's low. And it's 1-0. Wiedrich at first, Dent at third. 1-0, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Logan Larson looking to pad the Otter lead here. Otters lead at 6-2. And here's the pitch. That one is high. And I don't know if you heard the reaction from the crowd. They thought that was a little bit high. That was like a in unison groan there from the crowd. But Larson steps back in, 1-1. Runners at the corners here, and Larson's going to call time again. Step out. Otters play next on Thursday at West Fargo. Doubleheader. Couple of games today and right back at it 2 days later. Now Wiedrich takes off for second. There's a double steal. They throw it into center field. Run comes in to score. Wiedrich steals second. And a great job there. Otters have done that a few times, putting the pressure on the defense. And Wiedrich just took off for second. You could see the hesitation and indecision from Peters. Hesitated when he threw it to second. Of course, as that was happening, hustling home to score was John Dent, and they threw it into center field. Second error of the game for Detroit Lakes. And now Wiedrich fakes stealing third. He gets back, and the ball pitches outside to Larson, and it's 2-1. 83rd pitch of the game for Peters. That's a lot of pitches in 2 2/3 innings. Mark Gulseth's going to have to go to the bullpen here eventually. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Larson. Swing, ground ball right side, and it's scooped up by the first baseman riding, and he hustles over to first, steps on the base, and that retires the Otters in a long, long third inning. 8 Otters bat. It's 4 runs. Let's see, it's 4 runs on 2 hits, 1 error. And was it 2 left on base? 1 left on base. We go to the bottom of the third. Otters got 4 in that inning, and they now lead at 7-2 on the Park Region scoreboard. Going to the bottom of the third, this is Otter Baseball, streaming live on the Fergus Now app, right here on Channel 977.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. From Friday night lights to buzzer-beating shots, these students inspire us all. Just like them, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community, one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Jay, owner of Fergus Apothecary, downtown Fergus Falls. We like to talk to you out in the open, not through glass, not through a speaker. We treat you as a person, not as an insurance card. So we invite you to come downtown Fergus Falls and speak with us.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
There was that fly out, throw him out double play in the middle of it. And then Larson grounds out. But the Otters get 4 in the third, and they lead at 7-2. Micah Johnson on the mound, and he delivers a first pitch strike to Griff Lindberg. Lindberg was up in the second when Noah Germain on a pitch that got away hustled down to second. Now there's a hard smash. That's fair ball down the left field line. Hustling over to cut it off is John Dent, and good job by Dent hustling over and keeping Lindberg to a steal, or to a single. And leadoff batter on for Detroit Lakes. Mentioned before, Lindberg was up when at the end of the second inning with Germain at first, and a great play by Otters catcher Brent Sherman to cut down Germain, trying to get to second to end that second inning. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Cale MacArthur, second baseman for Detroit Lakes. MacArthur walked and scored in the first. Lindberg takes his lead at first base. Reached base both times in this one. And the pitch to MacArthur, it is high. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Be nice. Micah Johnson could have a quicker inning. He did have quite a few pitches as well. 44 pitches in the first 2 innings, at 48 right now. And MacArthur calls time, steps out for a moment. Micah Johnson waves off the first signal, looks over to first, comes to the set. And here's the pitch. That's low and outside, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Temperature ticked down a touch. We're still at 86 degrees. Wind is at 16 miles per hour. Coming straight in from left field. Another hot day tomorrow. Cool off a little bit more. Cool off on Thursday. Throw over to first, and getting back safely is Lindbergh. So MacArthur walked and scored in the first. Steps into the batter's box. 2-1 is the count. Lindbergh takes his lead. Pretty good lead over at first. And here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball right side, and I think that's going to go out of play in foul territory. Rolls right up just short of the dog with a group of people in the lawn chairs down the right field line in foul play, and rolls right up nicely to the group of Otter fans over there. They get the ball back in. It's 2-2. Nobody out. Lindbergh at first. Otters lead at 7-2. It's the bottom of the third. And the Lakers at the plate with MacArthur. Runner goes, and the pitch is high. Throw down to second. Lindbergh steals second base. Pretty good throw there. But Lindbergh, really a good jump, good speed. Had it beat the whole time. Stolen base for Lindbergh. His fourth stolen base of the year. And it's now a full count to Cale MacArthur, the number 3 batter for Detroit Lakes. Johnson to the set. Lindbergh takes his lead at second, and the pitch, that's inside, and the Lakers got something going here in the bottom of the third as they get a single and a walk. They have first and second with nobody out, and Alex Specht now to the plate, and Shane Tilkey's going to come out and have a chat with Micah Johnson in his infield. 7-2 Otters with the lead. And one of our sponsors for the game today is West Central Ag Air, your local Peterson Farms and LG seed supplier. And the right choice to defend your crops. That's West Central Ag Air. Also, Minnesota Motor of South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. And at Minnesota Motor Company, they know every decision they make affects every mile you drive. Trust the experts at Minnesota Motor. A lengthy discussion here with Coach Tilkey, and it looks like we're making a pitching change. Yeah, it looks like coming into pitch is going to be Parker Tilkey. Looks like he made the journey from center field coming in. So looks like there is going to be a pitching change. So we'll take a quick break here and try to sort out who's going to be playing what position and where everyone's going to be at. So quick break. Otters lead at 7-2 in the bottom of the third. And this is Otter Baseball on Channel 977, streaming live on the Fergus Now app.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Light powers your day, and with LEDs, every time you turn on a light, it's a chance to save. See how Otter Tail Power Company can help you save at otpco.com/LED.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls, Breckenridge, and Hankinson. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Ends up 52 pitches, 2 innings pitched. So far, 2 earned runs, 3 hits, 3 walks, no strikeouts. And he's on the hook for the 2 runners that are on base right now, as it's first and second with nobody out here in the bottom of the third. The Lakers are the home team here in Game 2 of this doubleheader, even though we are in Fergus Falls. Otters scored 2 in the first, Lakers 2 in the first as well. Then the Otters got 1 in the third and 4 in the top of the third, lead at 7-2. But the Lakers threatening here. Parker Tilkey on the season, according to the stats from Coach Shane Tilkey, 6 innings pitched. He's 1-0 on the year. 9 strikeouts, 3 walks, 1.17 ERA, a 1.33 WHIP. So in a short amount of a sample size and 6 innings pitched, Parker's been very effective on the mound. So we'll try to figure out where everyone has moved and rotated to. It looks like Micah Johnson is back to his home spot at second base, I believe. So I have to bear with us. Hard to see the numbers and where they've moved around. But the first pitch from Tilke, that one is golfed into short center field, a bloop base hit. What a strange swing that was on a low pitch, literally like a little wedge shot, like a golf swing. And it's a base hit for Alex Specht, and that will load the bases as the runners all advance 1 base. Man, kind of an awkward swing, but Specht figured out a way. He's got 2 hits on the game. And now Holden riding the first baseman to the plate with the bases loaded and nobody out. Riding is 0 for 1. He popped to short his first time up. So Parker Tilke with the pitch. That's high. Now it's off the glove of Sherman and coming in to score. And coming in to score is Griff Lindberg. So Lindberg scores for the second time in the game. That was a close one between a wild pitch and a pass ball. Not sure which one that would be. In either way, it got by Brant Sherman, and the run scores second and third now with nobody out. And it's 1-0 to Riding. And the pitch from Tilke, that one's high, and it's 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Holden Riding, he's the top batting average performer for Detroit Lakes, and there's a chopper foul. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Yep, so Micah Johnson is at second base now. I don't know if Logan Larson is still out there anyway. He might not be out there anymore on the field. That one is high from Tilke now. It's 3-1. Logan Larson is now in right field. And here's the pitch. I think Levi's out in center, probably. And that one's fouled back. So Riding fouls that one. Yeah, I'm trying to sort out where everyone is. I'm guessing Levi King is out in center field because that's where Parker Tilke was. And Logan Larson now is in right field. A lot of moving parts here. We'll catch you up with all the defensive positioning here in a moment, but it's now a full count to Holden Riding. Second and third, nobody out, and the pitch. And that's in there. Strike 3 looking. Big strikeout there for Parker Tilke. So Riding strikes out looking, and a big first out there for the Otters. And Eli Hatch will come to the plate. 7-3, Fergus Falls leads. Bottom of the third, Lakers at the plate. And Eli Hatch, he takes one right down the middle. Some good velocity here from Parker Tilke. Coming in from the center field spot to pitch. Eli Hatch had a clutch 2-out, 2-run single in the first inning. And that one, curveball, check swing foul to the right side. And now Tilke works ahead 0-2 on the number 6 batter, center fielder Eli Hatch. So 0-2. MacArthur's at third, Specht is at second, and Hatch at the plate. Here's the pitch, that's high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Henry Peters, the pitcher, is on deck. Henry probably doesn't have a whole lot left in his day pitching-wise. He racked up a lot of pitches in 3 innings. We'll see if he comes back out for the 4th. And stepping out is Hatch. One and two, and the pitch from Tilke. Check swing, comes back to Tilke. Now the runner's coming home. They go to the plate, and he is out at the plate. Good job there, Tilke. It was kind of off the handle. Came back. I think Tilke was just a little surprised that the runner was coming home, was able to flip it right over to Brant Sherman, and they cut off the runner, which was Cale MacArthur at home. So they get the second out. Specht is now at third, and Hatch reaches on the fielder's choice to home. So first and third, 2 out. And at the plate is Henry Peters. There's the pitch that's high. Now they're going to try to pull off the double steal. Otters are not going to throw it down, and that will allow Eli Hatch to steal second base. Second steal of the game for DL. So now 2 runners in scoring position, second and third. And the pitch from Tilke. That is a little bit high, and it's 2-0. On deck is Max Ducharme, third baseman. 2-0. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss behind that one. Get the feeling if Parker can throw some heat into the zone, Peters might have a tough time catching up. He was behind that one pretty good, and it's 2-1. Tilke winds and delivers. Pop foul coming right straight on back towards us, but the net gets in the way, and it's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2. And Tilke looks in, winds and delivers just inside, and the count goes full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. There it goes, and it is pop foul down the right field line, and it is, I think it was just out of play. That's the one spot we're kind of blocked out a little bit on by some of the fencing, but it's a foul ball, and the count stays at 3-2. To Henry Peters, batting just under 200 on the year. Second and third, Otters up 7-3. Here's the pitch, chop foul. So the count stays full. Otters up 7-3. We're in the bottom of the third. Runners at second and third and 2 out. Big moment here. Otters can keep the Lakers at bay and have a 4-run inning going to the fourth in a good position. But Lakers can get right back in the thick of it here with another big 2-out hit. They had a big 2-out hit in the first inning that got 2 runs in. And now Henry Peters looking to do that again here in the third. Parker Tilke winds and the 3-2 pitch. Swing ground ball up the middle, takes a hop off the mound. Micah Johnson backhands, turns, throws it to first. And a nice defensive play. And the Lakers are retired. That took a nice bounce off the mound that kind of made it a little easier for Micah to play it on the backhand, turned and throw. Good defense by the Otters. They don't have any errors in the first 3 innings. The Lakers do get 1 run on 2 hits and no errors and 2 left on base. We go to the 4th inning. Fergus Falls 7, Detroit Lakes with 3. Back with more high school baseball after this.
What's your number?
I drove 60 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota. I drove 45 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food. Serving you best.
Otter Tail Minn Dakota Coaches has been the trusted name in transportation for 50 years. Safety, service, and dependability are at the heart of every journey. From local routes to nationwide trips, rely on Otter Tail Coaches for a ride you can trust.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Toe the rubber here to start the 4th. And Peters in his 3 innings. He has 3 strikeouts, and let's see, Peters with 3 strikeouts, and he didn't have any walks going into the 3rd, but he walked 4 in that 3rd inning. He's given up 6 hits and 4 walks. and he has struck out 3 in the game. And 7 earned runs as the Otters lead at 7-3. And leading off for the Otters is Karsten Froning, the third baseman, as Peters winds and gives the first pitch of the 4th inning. That's high for a ball, 1-0. Froning in game 2, he's 1 for 2, singled and scored in the first, flew out to right in the 2nd inning. And it's 1-0. And the pitch from Peters, low and in the dirt, and it's 2-0. Good job by Parker Tilke coming in, relieving Micah Johnson with 2 runners on. He only let 1 run in, only gave up 1 bloop hit, had a strikeout. And it's 2-0 now to Karsten Froning, leading off the 4th inning. And the pitch, swing and a miss, swung through that one. Big, mighty cut from Froning there. Didn't get it, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So Peters winds and delivers. And that one is high, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Peters approaching the 90 pitch mark here. He's at 88. And I don't see any activity in the bullpen for Detroit Lakes. They're going to be going with him for the foreseeable future here. And the pitch that is behind, high and above and behind the head of Froning, and it'll be a walk. So leadoff man on for the Otters. 5th walk of the game for Henry Peters. And now Hunter Powers to the plate. He's reached base both times. Got hit by a pitch in the 1st inning, came around to score, walked in the 3rd, stole a base, came around to score. Peters takes a look over at Froning, taking his lead, and look for Froning to be on the move, possibly on one of these pitches. Well, he won't have to worry about it. The pitch is low, gets past Germain, and on the wild pitch, Froning will move to second. So a ball and no strikes here to Hunter Powers. And Powers batting right around 500 on the season. Now he wheels and throws over to second. Kind of a half-hearted throw back to second. Easily back into second is Karsten Froning. So Peters looks in. He comes to the set. Froning takes his lead at second. Here's the pitch to Powers. Swing and a pop-up. Moving over. It's going to be in play in foul territory and unable to make the play. Overrunning it is the pitcher, Henry Peters. And again, that's one that's tough on the pitcher to make that play on. Probably a play that you want your third baseman coming in hard, charging to make the play. And the struggles for the Lakers on pop-ups continue here. No error on the play as a glove wasn't put on it, just misplayed. And it'll be a strike, a ball and a strike here to Powers. And the pitch, off speed, that's in for a strike. And it's 1-2 now to Hunter Powers, first baseman. Karsten Froning at second. Otters lead at 7-3, top of the 4th. Runner at second, nobody out. That one's low in the dirt. Good job by Germain to keep it in front of him. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Lefty Hunter Powers at the plate. He's the Otters' top batting average on the season, right around 500. Driven in 9 runs on the year. And here's the 2-2 pitch. That's low, bounces up to Germain again, full count. Nobody out. On deck is Levi King. Wind blowing in straight from left field. Right around 16 miles per hour is where it's consistently at. Powers chops it foul on the first baseline. Wind is down just another tick. The temperature down another tick. We're at 85 degrees and about 15 mile per hour wind. Full count here. Powers at the plate. Runner at second. Nobody out top of the 4th. The pitch is inside, almost hit Powers. And Hunter Powers reaches base for the third time in this game. He hasn't gotten a hit, but it's a hit by a pitch and a pair of walks. And now the Otters have first and second, nobody out, and that might do it here now for Henry Peters. Mark Gulseth coming out. Peters has 96 pitches thrown. And he looks to make a pitching change here. And yeah, Peters is coming off the field here. And we'll see who's coming in to pitch. It looks like it is number 21, and that would be the catcher, I believe, from the first game. Yep, Corbin Crump. So Corbin Crump, who was the catcher, starting catcher in the last game, in the first game, I should say, will come on to pitch. He didn't start this game, but he's going to come into pitch now. Henry Peters ends up pitching 3 innings and 3 strikeouts, 7 earned, 4 hits, 6 walks, and he is on the hook for the 2 base runners that are on base right now. First and second is where we're at. So we'll take a quick break while Crump gets some warm-up pitches, and we'll come back here in the top of the 4th. Otters lead at 7-3 on our Park Region scoreboard. You're listening to Otter Baseball.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Hi, I'm Jay, owner of Fergus Apothecary, downtown Fergus Falls. We like to talk to you out in the open, not through glass, not through a speaker. We treat you as a person, not as an insurance card. So we invite you to come downtown Fergus Falls and speak with us.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food. Serving you best.
Sample sizes are so small with a 5 innings pitch that it's hard to judge too much on the ERA. A 2.2 whip in those 5 innings. So at the bat is Levi King. Top of the 4th, Otters up 7-3. First and second, nobody out. And the pitch to King, swing and a miss. Strike 1. Levi in this one, 1 for 1. He walked and got thrown out trying to advance to second in the first and had an RBI double. Came around to score in the third. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's low bounces. Good job by Jermaine to keep it in front. He's been pretty busy blocking pitches in this one and doing a pretty good job of it. And it's a ball and a strike. Crump to the set. Now the runner goes to third, and it is outside, and stealing third without a throw is Karsten Froning. That's Karsten's 2nd steal of the game. Actually, it's his 3rd steal of the game, I should say. He singled in the first and stole second and third. Carson up to 8 steals on the year. Good job there. First and third. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Now the runner from first on to second. They're going to throw down to second, and it'll be an easy steal. Froning stays at third. Powers steals second. So the Otters putting heat on the Lakers on the base paths. And that was Hunter Powers' 2nd steal of the game and 6th on the year. So second and third, and here's the 3-1 pitch, and that's inside for ball 4. And Levi King, 3rd time on base in this one, his 2nd walk of the game. Now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And Brock Sherman, the designated hitter, coming to the plate. So bases are loaded. Sherman at the plate. Brock 1 for 1, doubled in the first and walked in the third. There's a fly ball to left field. Coming under it is Jared Ohm. He makes the catch. Runner tags at third, and coming in to score for Fergus Falls on the sacrifice fly is Karsten Froning. So a sac fly, an RBI for Brock Sherman. Froning comes in to score. That makes it 8-3. Otters are up by 5. first out of the inning. Powers and King stay put at first and second, and that'll bring up Brant Sherman, the catcher. And the pitch catches the inside corner for a strike. So that run is credited to Henry Peters. He's also on the hook for Hunter Powers, who's at second base. And it's 0-1. Corbin Crump with the pitch and fisted foul. Ball was up and in, went off the handle, and Sherman is behind 0-2 on the count. Parker Tilkey's on deck. 8-3, Fergus Falls leading here in the top of the fourth. Otters are the visiting team on the scoreboard, even though we're playing in Fergus Falls. Pitch is up in the zone, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And with that run, Otters have scored in every single inning. They keep the streak going that they played in today. 10 innings they've played, they scored in every run. There's a foul back out of play. And it is still 1-2. Corbin Crump on the mound, relieving Henry Peters here during this fourth inning. And here's the pitch from Crump. There's a fly ball to left center field, hustling in. They got to hustle in, but making the play nicely after a long run is center fielder Eli. Well, it's not Eli Hatch. Looks like they made some moves. It is number 2 is out there for Detroit. Oh, that is Eli Hatch. Excuse me. I had the wrong number on my little diamond cheat sheet in front of me. He's number 2. So Eli Hatch did put it away. I had it right the first time. 2 outs, and runner is at first and second. Parker Tilkey at the plate for the Otters, and swings. He fouls it into the netting behind the plate, and it's 0-1. Tilkey 0 for 2 in this one, struck out looking in the second, and flew out into a fly-out, throw-out double play, fly out to center field. Good throw by Hatch. He got the double play at home. That was in the third inning. The next pitch to Tilkey is low and outside, a ball and a strike. Powers at second, King at first, 2 out. And here's the pitch. That's catches the outside corner. That was looked outside from my point of view, but they get the call, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. And here's the pitch, fouled back. Tilkey fouls it back. Stays alive, 1-2. John Dent is on deck. Crump comes to the set, looks a second, and delivers to the plate. Swing and a miss. Struck him out a little bit of a high fastball there and blew it by Tilkey. And that will end the fourth inning. Maybe a little disappointing for the Otters to only get 1 run. They had the bases loaded with nobody out, but only able to get 1 run in on the sacrifice fly from Brock Sherman. So 1 run on no hits and no errors and 2 left on base. To the bottom of the fourth we go. It's Fergus Falls 8, Detroit Lakes 3. Back with more baseball in just a moment.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls and Grand Forks is your shopping stop for America's 3 favorite truck brands, Ford, Ram, and GMC. Whether you're towing, hauling, or just enjoying the open road, we have a truck for you. Half, 3/4, and 1 ton. There's a truck for every job. Stop and visit or shop any of our stores at NelsonAutoCenter.com. Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls and Grand Forks.
Well, Otters keep the streak going today. They played 10 innings in this doubleheader. They've scored in every inning. They got 1 run in, but that might have been the most disappointing as far as looked like they had a big number coming up. They had the bases loaded, nobody out, but Corbin Crump came in for Henry Peters, did a nice job limiting the Otters to only 1 run in that situation, and it's 8-3 as we're about to start the bottom of the fourth. Just got a announcement we've been talking about that the Otters were looking to have their next game, a doubleheader on Thursday at West Fargo. That was canceled, but they are going to play instead at 1:30 on Thursday at Champlin Park. So a little bit change in the schedule, a little bit of a longer trip. But so the Otters will play Champlin Park at 1:30 on Thursday. They won't be at West Fargo on Thursday. Here's the first pitch of the bottom of the fourth. It's low from Parker Tilke. And the batter is Max Ducharme. Ducharme 0 for 1, grounded out to short in the second. And Tilke's pitch right in there for a strike, and it's 1-1. Parker, nice job in the third. He relieved Micah Johnson with 2 on, nobody out, and was able to limit the Lakers to 1 run on 1 hit in his inning that he pitched. There's strike 2. 1-2 now to Ducharme. And the pitch that it got away from Tilke sailed over the head as Ducharme ducked underneath, and it's ball 2. So 2-2. Max Ducharme leading off the bottom of the fourth. Otters up 8-3. Pitch and a chopper right side goes foul down the first baseline. So 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count to Max Ducharme, player who hasn't got a lot of plate appearances this year. Third baseman. And the wind and the pitch from Tilke, and that is low and outside. So 3-2. Otters don't want the leadoff runner on here with a 5-run lead in the fourth. Sure, Parker looking to put fastball here right down the middle and challenge Ducharme. Here's the pitch. And there's that fastball, blows it right by him. Strike 3, good pitch there by Tilke. And Ducharme swings right through it. Strikeout number 2 for Parker Tilke. And that'll bring up Jared Ohm, the left fielder. Ohm 0 for 1, grounded out to third in the second inning. And the pitch. There's a strike, fastball. Outside corner range, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Noah Germain is on deck, top of the order. Tilke working quickly. Fastball is high, and it's 1-1. Yeah, Parker gets the ball back, looks in, and he's ready to go. He winds, and the pitch curves it in there. Well, it's inside, and it's 2-1. So here's the pitch from Tilke, and that one's low. So now gets behind to Ohm, 3 balls and a strike. Ohm coming into this one batting .231 on the year. OPS just a little over 600. And time is called by Jared Ohm, so Tilke will have to reset. Three-one pitch, the wind and the pitch. And strike on the outside corner. Ohm had a little reaction like he was about to throw the bat for a walk, and instead it's strike 2. So 3-2, 1 out, nobody on, bottom of the fourth, and here's the full count pitch, fouled back. 32 pitches for Tilke here in his second inning of work. 1 out. Otters up 8-3 on the Park Region scoreboard. And it's Jared Ohm stepping in the pitch and swing and a miss. He struck him out. Maybe chased one a little bit low. But Tilke, two batters, 2 strikeouts here in the bottom of the fourth. And that'll bring up leadoff batter and catcher Noah Germain. Germain is 0 for 1 in the game with a walk. Tilke winds and the pitch. Strike on the outside corner. A little shake of the head. Germain disagreed. That outside corner for the right-handed batters has been a little point of controversy for the batters here in this game. He swings and fouls that one off. It's 0-2. Germain flew out to right in the first. He walked in the second, but was caught stealing, trying to advance on the ball that got away briefly from Sherman behind the plate. Great throw by Brant Sherman to end the second inning at second base. Curveball is low and in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Tilke 1 strike away from striking out the side here. Struck out Ducharme swinging, struck out Ohm swinging, and now he's ahead of Germain. 1-2. Otters are up 8-3. Fergus Falls won game 1 of the doubleheader 15-4. They're 7-7 on the year, trying to get above 500. Fergus Falls has won 5 of their last 7 coming into this second game of the doubleheader. Germain taking his time, getting back in the box. Now he's in there, and Tilke is ready to go. Here's the pitch, and that is in there. Strike 3. Parker Tilke strikes out the side. Struck out the first 2 swinging. Germain goes down looking on that one. 1-2-3 in the fourth. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. To the 5th we go. Otters are up 8-3 on our Park Region scoreboard. Back with more in just a moment.
I'm Tad Butke, your dedicated business sales consultant at Park Region. Whether you're looking to optimize your operations, scale your business, or find tailored solutions, I'm here to help you achieve your goals.
Reach out to Tad today at 218-998-2000 for Park Region to go beyond the connection.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
So Parker Tilke, he mowed him down there in the bottom of the 4th, and very effective in relief. So Parker, 2 innings of work. No earned runs, only 1 hit, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. And the Otters are up 8-3 as we begin the top of the 5th. Corbin Crump came in and gave a boost to Detroit Lakes. He came in with runners at first and second as he came in relief in the top half of the 4th. He walked Levi King, but then after that, a sacrifice fly for Brock Sherman scored a run, but he got Brant Sherman to fly out to short center and struck out Parker Tilke. So he did a good job limiting the damage to keep the Lakers at least within touch here, 8-3. Talked about the big keys of the game for Shane Tilke for the Otters was their defense. A little bit shaky in the first game with 5 errors, but so far, Otters have no errors through the first 4 innings of play. Coach Tilke's got to be happy about that. And put themselves in a position with the lead here, entering the 5th inning, 8-3. And John Dent will lead off for Fergus Falls. Dent 2 for 2 in the game, a single, a double, couple runs, and an RBI. He was, like we said, he takes the ball high, ball sails over his head. He ducks under at 1-0. He pinch hit, singled, and scored in the first game, so he's 3 for 3 today with 3 runs scored. Great day for the senior. 1-0. Low and in the dirt and 2 balls and no strikes. Dent trying to get the Otters leadoff man on here. And here's the pitch. Swing, hot smash foul behind Coach Tilke. And it'll be 2-1. Dent all over that, but well ahead of it. Otters have got the leadoff man on the last 2 innings, both on walks, both from Henry Peters. And Crump ready, looks in. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That's outside. And it's 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. Dent trying to get on base. Cam Wiedrich is on deck. And here's the pitch from Crump. There's a high chopper to third. Coming in charging, Ducharme. Across the diamond it goes, and it is in time as Dent is retired for the first time today. Good play there by Ducharme, hustling in from third, charging that. And 1 out here in the 5th. Minnesota Motors is one of our sponsors for the game today. The pre-owned inventory at Minnesota Motor Company is growing. Contact the sales team for a test drive today. Minnesota Motor, South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. First pitch to Wiedrich is out of the zone. It's 1-0. Cam Wiedrich in this one struck out in the second, walked in the third. There's the 1-0 pitch. That's outside. 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. The wind settling down a little bit here as the evening has progressed. And the pitch to Wiedrich, that's way up out of the zone off the glove of Germain. And now the count 3-0. Cam Weidrich, shortstop. Smooth fielding shortstop. Now he gets hit. That he didn't get hit too hard, but kind of annoying when it was easily going to be ball 4 and it just gets you on the back. Got away from Crump. So Cam Weidrich on base with a hit by pitch. So Otters have a runner at first with 1 out, and that'll bring up Logan Larson. Logan is 1 for 3 in the game with an RBI double. Weidrich takes the lead at first, and he's on the move. Ball's inside, throw down to second. Weidrich slides in safely, and it's a stolen base for Cam Weidrich. I think that's stolen base number 7 for the Otters in this game. So Cam Weidrich at second, 1-0 to Logan Larson with 1 out in their first strike, and it's 1-1. Logan Larson, top of the order. He struck out swinging in the first, RBI double in the second, and grounded out to first in the third. 1-1 pitch on the way inside, almost hit him. And it's 2 balls and a strike. Karsten Froning is on deck for the Otters. After the game, we'll name our Quality Player of the Game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. That'll be in our Olson Oil Card Express postgame show. Pitch is outside, and now it's 3-1, and Crump struggling to find the strike zone here in this last few at-bats. Weidrich takes his lead at second base, 1 out, 3-1 count, top of the 5th. Otters lead at 8-3. They're the visiting team here in this home game at the Lagoon, and the pitch is out of the zone, and Larson walks and another base runner for Fergus Falls. So Otters with first and second, 1 out. Second walk of the game for Crump, essentially the third, as that hit by pitch on Weidrich would have been ball 4. And Karsten Froning is up with first and second, 1 out. Crump looks, comes to the plate, up and in for a ball, and it's 1-0. Froning 1 for 2 in game 2 with 2 runs scored and a walk and 3 steals. He's been all over the base paths. The pitch to Froning, that's on the outside corner for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Froning singled in the first, then he stole second, stole third, came around to score, flew out to right in the second, walked, stole a base, and scored in the fourth. So it's 1-1, first and second. And the pitch from Crump, it's high, and it's 2-1. Crump at 33 pitches here in his inning in a third of work. And it's a 2-1 count. And the pitch, swing, fouled back, coming right at us into the net, though. And it's 2-2. Hunter Powers on deck for the Otters. They're coming into the meat of their order here now, with Froning at the plate. And the 2-2 pitch from Crump. Swing and popped up right side of the infield. Riding is under it at first base, and he drops it again. And that is in foul territory. And the Lakers, man, you talk about being your worst enemy defensively. They've given away a number of outs. And again, riding under it, and it just popped out of his glove. He was standing right on the foul line, but it was a foul ball, and it stays 2-2. Crump going to try to pick up his teammate there after that error. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He does pick him up as Froning strikes out swinging. That was the third error of the game for Detroit Lakes. But a big strikeout for Crump, and that gets a second out on the board. And now first and second with 2 outs, and Hunter Powers at the plate. Powers has reached base every time. He was hit by a pitch in the first, walked in the third, walked in the fourth. He's scored twice. Here's the pitch to the left-handed Powers. There's a hard ground ball. That's a base hit into right field. Coming around third and being waved home and coming in to score. And now the ball gets by the catcher, coming around third and in to score on the throwing error. Powers gets to third as Larson came in to score, and before him it was Cam Wiedrich who came in to score, and a big 2-out hit for Hunter Powers. That gets the Otters 2 runs. It'll be an RBI single, and then the throwing error allows the second run to score, and Powers to advance to third. Good day at the plate in game 2 for Hunter Powers. And now it's Levi King up, with the Otters up 10-3 with a runner at third and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. And the pitch from Crump in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. So 4 errors now in the game for Detroit Lakes. That error cost them a run. Runner at third. Otters trying to tack on some more to the lead. Here's the pitch. That is high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Levi today in game 2, he's 2 for 2. I'm sorry, 1 for 1 with 2 walks, a double, a run scored, and an RBI. Levi's had a great day at the plate in both games. Swing and a miss, though, through that one, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, Levi in the first game was 2 for 3 with a walk, so he's been on base 6 different times already in this doubleheader. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Crump, up and in. Levi had to duck back, and the count evens at 2-2. Crump at 40 pitches now in his 1 2/3 innings of work. And Crump to the set, the 2-2 pitch. Swing, there's a pop up to short, left center field coming in, and it drops in the blue pit. And Levi King hits them where they weren't as 3 players converge, and the ball fell right in the middle of shortstop Griff Lindbergh, center fielder Eli Hatch, and left fielder Jared Ohm. And that's an RBI single for Levi King. As Powers comes in to score. And Otters are now up 11-3 as Brock Sherman to the plate with Levi King at first and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. And the pitch, that's low. Good scoop there by Germain, and it's 1-0. Sherman in this one is 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and a sacrifice fly. And here's the pitch. That one's catches the zone. Looked like it was going to be high, and late strike call evens the count at 1-1. Otters up 11-3, 11 runs in this one, and they have scored in every inning they have played in today in this doubleheader. That one's outside, and it's 2-1. So 11 innings the Otters have come up to bat, and they've scored at least 1 run in all those innings. King is at first. Takes his lead, 2-1, and he's on the move, and he's going to steal second easily as Germain wasn't able to get the throw off too quickly. Levi King with a stolen base. Well, we're somewhere around. I don't trust myself that I kept exact track. We're on 8 or 9 steals in this game for the Otters. Otters are running wild on the base paths here. King in scoring position now, and the pitch, chop foul to the left of third base and head coach Shane Tilke. It's a full count here now to Brock Sherman. Well, Midwest Printing, your local partner for quality printing, and visit Midwest Printing in Fergus Falls. Full count here, top of the 5th. Runner at second, 2 out. Otters have 3 runs in. They lead at 11-3, and Crump to the plate, and it's high, and it's a walk. And Sherman takes the walk, the second of the inning, and first and second with 2 outs. And Brant Sherman will be coming to the plate, and Shane Tilke coming over to talk with umpire. Looks like we have pinch runner Micah Johnson coming into pinch run for Brock Sherman. We get a little more speed on the base paths with Micah Johnson coming in pinch run at first. Brant Sherman is at the plate. Sherman is 0 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and a stolen base. Otters flirting with a double-digit lead here in the fifth. They have 2 runners on base. There's a soft fly ball left side out of play, and it is 0-1. Remember, Fergus Falls, their game with West Fargo canceled on Thursday, but they will now be playing Champlin Park at 1:30 this Thursday, May 15th, changing the schedule. Pitch fastball is high. A ball and a strike here now to Brant Sherman. Crump looks in, and the pitch, and he's ahead of that one, and out of play again, left side. Hit it pretty good. Pulled it down there left side, but it'll be a long strike, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. No Twins tonight. Their game with the Orioles was postponed. Doubleheader tomorrow. That'll be on News Talk 1250 KBRF. There's the pitch. There's a fly ball to center field. Eli Hatch roaming over to his left. He's under it and makes the play, and that'll retire the Otters in the 5th inning. But Fergus Falls picks up 3 runs in the inning, and they did it with 2 hits, 2 errors, and 2 left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. Otters are up 11-3 on our Park Region scoreboard. And back with more Otter baseball after this.
Olson Oil Cart Express of Fergus Falls is your one-stop shop. Propane tank refills? Check. Diesel for your trucks? Check. Gas, propane exchange, and bulk delivery? Check, check, and check. Olson Oil Cart Express, supporting Otter sports.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Team on the scoreboard, even though they're at their home field. It's the bottom of the 5th here now. Otters are up 11-3. Parker Tilke is still on the mound for the Otters. He's been outstanding in his 2 innings. In his 2 innings of relief, as he has 2 innings, no earned runs, 1 hit, 4 strikeouts to no walks, and he's come in with some real nice velocity, and been tough for the Lakers to make any meaningful contact on him here so far. The Lakers will come to the plate with their 2, 3, and 4 batters. Griff Lindbergh, Cale MacArthur, and Alex Specht coming to the plate. Well, Minnesota Motor, know that every decision they make affects every mile you drive. Trust the experts at Minnesota Motor Company, as they are located on South Pebble Lake Road in Fergus Falls. Otters trying to get above 500 here. They're 7-7 on the year. They won game 1 of this doubleheader, 15-4. Great pitching performance by Isaac Ellison. Complete game, 6 innings, 1 earned, 3 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. As the Otters won that one 15-4 in 6 innings. Here's Tilke on the first pitch. That's inside to Lindbergh, and it's 1-0. Lindbergh, the shortstop, 1 for 1 in the game with a single, a walk, and 2 runs scored, a stolen base as well. And there's a ground ball to short. Cam Wiedrich up with it, backhand, over it goes, and Lindbergh is retired. Good play there by Wiedrich to start off the 5th. 6-3 on the putout. And that'll bring up Cale MacArthur, second baseman for the Lakers. MacArthur has walked in both of his plate appearances. He came around to score in the first. And he takes a strike. 0-1 to Cale MacArthur, number 3 batter for the Lakers. That one is inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. MacArthur was 0 for 3 in the first game. He's taken 2 walks here in this one. 1-1 pitch, grounder to third. Good play by Froning, up with it. He's got time, sends it over, and another good defensive play by the Otters. The Otters' defense has been on point here in Game 2. No errors. Making the good plays and cutting off a runner at home earlier on the comebacker. And Coach Tilke's really got to be happy with his team defensively here in Game 2 after a tough first game with 5 errors. But Tilke gets the first 2 batters, and at the plate is Alex Specht. Takes it high, and it's 1-0. Tilke winds and delivers. Curves it in there for a strike. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Specht, 2 for 2 in this game, 2 singles. He's been stranded both times, though. And the pitch, that's in there. And Tilke is ahead in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 45 pitches in Tilke's 2 2/3 inning of work. And the 1-2 pitch, swinging. There's a fly ball to left center field. Hustling over, trying to make the play. Diving, and Levi King couldn't quite make the play. And hustling over to second for a double will be Alex Specht. Man, looked like Levi had it. He stretched out his body. And, in fact, I remember if it was last year. It was either here. Yeah, I think it was one of the few games I broadcasted last year. Levi made one of those diving catches, and it looked like he was at it again, but couldn't quite bring it in. Backhand, when his body hit the ground, the ball got jarred loose. So it's a 2-out double for Alex Specht, and Holden riding now at the plate for Detroit Lakes. And the pitch from Tilke, and that got away from Parker, and it hits riding on the back. So a couple base runners now for the Lakers on that hit by a double and then a hit by a pitch. And that'll bring up Eli Hatch to the plate. So after 2 quick outs, Lakers trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 5th. Fergus Falls 11, Detroit Lakes 3. And it's Eli Hatch. Swings and misses at that first one, and it's 0-1. Hatch is 1 for 2 in the game. 2 out, 2-run single in the first, and then he reached on a fielder's choice, stole a base in the third. The 0-1 pitch. A little bit up, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. So first and second, 2 out, bottom of the 5th. 1-1 is the count, and Tilke looks at second, and he comes to the plate. There's a ground ball to short. Wiedrich charging in. He's going to make the play over to first, and that'll do it. Otters retire Detroit Lakes, and they stop that 2-out rally in its tracks as the putout for Eli Hatch, 6-3 to end the 5th inning. Detroit Lakes, no runs on 1 hit, no errors for the Otters through 5 innings, and 2 left on base. To the 6th we go. Fergus Falls with the lead, 11-3 on the Park Region scoreboard. You're listening to Otter Baseball on Channel 977, and we're also streaming live on the Fergus Now app.
It's time to replace your old furnace. That old one has been a drain on your energy bill for far too long. Let Otters Plumbing and Heating replace your old inefficient furnace with a new carrier system and help you and your checkbook rest easy. Otters Plumbing and Heating, Fergus Falls.
What's the record for the biggest walleye? What's the record for the largest goldfish? Wait, what? Never release aquatic animals or plants into our lakes and rivers. Help protect our waters and native species.
Business systems can be frustrating. Don't take it out on the printer. Let Liberty Business Systems simplify the chaos. With automated printing services and flexible contracts, you'll never feel frustrated or stuck with your business systems. Liberty Business Systems.
Transparent, flexible, fearless.
1 in the second, 2 in the third, 4 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, and 3 in the sixth. And in this game, they had 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 4 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth. So they're 11 innings they have scored a run. And if they can get a couple, they might have a chance to end this game in 6 innings like they did in game 1 as well. as it is still Corbin Crump on the mound for Detroit Lakes. He came in relief of Henry Peters in the middle of the 4th inning. Crump, with his work, 2 innings, 2 earned runs, 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts. And it is Parker Tilke to lead things off for the Otters. And the pitch from Crump is on the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1. Parker 0 for 3. He had a great game in game 1, 3 for 3 with a single, double, triple, 3 runs scored. He's 0 for 3 in this one. And there's a swing, and he is now 1 for 4, as that is a seeing eye base hit in between the shortstop and third baseman. So Parker Tilke on the board with his first hit of game 2. And that'll bring up John Dent, the left fielder. So Otters with the leadoff runner on for the 3rd time in out of their 6 tries here in this game. And John Dent having a nice day at the plate, steps in. Tilke takes his lead at first, and that's inside for a ball. Dent in this one, 2 for 3 with a single in the 2nd, came around to score. RBI double in the 3rd, came around to score and grounded out to 3rd in the 5th. That one's low in the dirt, and it's 2-0. (11-3), Otters with the lead. And here's the pitch, and that's low, and it's now 3-0. So Dent ahead in the count, 3-0. Tilke takes the lead. That one is in for a strike. Looks like Crump took a little bit off of that one to try guide it into the zone, and it's now 3-1. Cam Wiedrich is on deck for Fergus Falls. And the pitch, that one bounces, gets by catcher Germain, but it's going to be ball 4. And the Otters will have first and second with nobody out. And Cam Wiedrich to the plate. Wiedrich 0 for 1, but he's been on base twice in this game. He struck out swinging in the 2nd, walked in the 3rd, hit by a pitch in the 5th, stole 2nd, came around to score. And Wiedrich had 2 RBIs in the first game, one on a sacrifice squeeze bunt and a sacrifice fly in game 1 of this doubleheader. Here's the pitch to Wiedrich, and that's in for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Crump looks in, and the pitch, that one's high, and it's a ball and a strike. Logan Larson on deck for Fergus Falls. Taking his lead at second is Parker Tilke, John Dent at first, and now that hits Wiedrich. So back-to-back at bats, Cam has been plunked by Crump, and he'll head over to first. So the bases are going to be loaded with nobody out, and the top of the order coming up for the Otters with Logan Larson coming to the plate. So Wiedrich on base his last 3 times with a couple hit by pitch and a walk. Lights just came on here as we're a little past 8:30, 8:36 right now. And the first pitch to Larson misses the zone, and it's 1-0. Pitch to Larson, swings through that one, 1-1. Logan in game 2, he's 1 for 3 with a double and a walk, an RBI, and a run scored. Bases loaded, and here's the pitch to Larson. That's outside. Otters can have an opportunity here to put up a crooked number and finish this in 6 innings possibly. They're up 11-3 right now. 10-run rule comes into effect after 5 innings. Pitch to Larson. That's popped up to short left. Now hustling in, trying to make the play is Ohm. He doesn't get there, and it falls in front of him. Now hustling over, and maybe a mistake by the Lakers. They didn't cover third. Might have had a chance to get the runner, John Dent, going to third, but third base was not covered. It's going to be a bloop RBI single for Logan Larson. The bases will still be loaded. Parker Tilke came around to score, and it's now 12-3. Otters with the lead, and Karsten Froning to the plate. with the bases loaded. The pitch to Froning inside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. 67 pitches is where Corbin Crump is in his 2+ innings of work. That one's in for a strike, and it's 1-1. Froning in this one is 1 for 3 with a single, a walk, 2 runs scored, and 3 stolen bases. The pitch to Froning, that's in there, good pitch. And Crump gets ahead in the count, 1-2. Hunter Powers on deck for the Otters. And the 1-2 pitch, swing, and fly ball to center field. Eli Hatch waiting under it, and the runner tags from third and coming in to score. But going to second, trying to advance to second with Logan Larson. Logan is cut down going to second base. Logan, I think, not watching it, but he must have tagged late and tried to advance as the throw went to home, and he was cut down. So it's going to be the second double fly-out, throw-out double play. Well, this one was a little different. It went from center. The first one earlier in the third inning was center to home. This one was center to catcher to second base, but 2 outs. Otters do get a 10-run lead now, 13-3, as it was Dent that came in to score as Powers fouls the first pitch off. But Larson cut off at second, so 2 outs now with a runner at third. 13-3 Otters lead here in the top of the 6th inning, and it's 1-1 now as Powers takes a ball. Wiedrich at third, and Powers fouls it back behind us, and it's a ball and 2 strikes with Levi King on deck. The Otters got a big lead, but they've run themselves out of a few runs here throughout the game. 13 runs for Fergus Falls, 10 hits. And the stat you really like to see from this team, no errors in this game. Been outstanding defensively. Power steps in, and here's the pitch. Chopped right in front of the plate, picked up by Crump, throws over to first, and that will retire the Otters in the 6th inning as Fergus Falls gets 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Otters are up by 10. If they can hold the Lakers without a run, they'd close this out. They lead at 13-3 on the Park Region scoreboard. Back with more Otter baseball after this brief break.
What's your number?
We've driven 57 miles 6 times for a great deal at Quality Toyota.
Olson Oil Card Express of Fergus Falls is your one-stop shop. Propane tank refills? Check. Diesel for your trucks? Check. Gas, propane exchange, and bulk delivery? Check, check, and check. Olson Oil Card Express, supporting Otter sports.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
At American Federal Bank, they're proud sponsors of local high school athletics. From Friday night lights to buzzer-beating shots, these students inspire us all. Just like them, American Federal is here to go the extra mile for you. American Federal Bank, investing in our community, one play at a time. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
On the scoreboard in Game 1. They're up 13-3. If they can hold Detroit Lakes off the scoreboard, they would close this out with the 10-run rule in effect. They lead at 13-3. Otters won the first game in 6 innings at 15-4. And Parker Tilke, he's been outstanding in this one, wanting to close this one out here. As Tilke, 3 scoreless innings in this game, only giving up 2 hits, struck out 4. And here's the pitch. There's a grounder to third. Good play by Froning. He's up with it. Across it goes, and retiring Corbin Crump on that one as Crump was batting for Henry Peters. And 1 pitch, 1 out. Good start to the inning. And that'll bring up Max Ducharme. And Ducharme 0 for 2 in the game He grounded out to short in the second, struck out swinging in the fourth. Otters 2 outs away from closing this out. If they can keep the Lakers off the board in this bottom half of the sixth, then that one's inside. It's 1-0. Don't forget, we'll have our Olson Oil Card Express post-game show coming up in just a bit whenever the game is over. We'll name our quality player of the game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. There's a strike. Fastball on the outside edge, and it's a ball and a strike. Jared Ohm is on deck for Detroit Lakes. Otters playing some good baseball here as that one is low and away, 2-1. They started the season 2-5, but going into this game 2, they've won 5 of their last 7. Trying to make it 6 of 8. Here's a pitch from Tilke. That's high. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike. So Ducharme looking for his first hit of the game, and that's right down the middle for a strike. Ducharme moving over like he was getting a walk. That didn't look like it was anywhere but right down the middle, as it's a full count now. And here's Tilke winds and the pitch, and that one is low, and Ducharme will draw the walk. So Tilke loses Ducharme. First walk of the game for Parker Tilke. And that'll bring up Jared Ohm, the left fielder. And Ducharme at first. Tilke to the set now. And comes to the plate. Curves it in there. That's a strike, and it's 0-1. Ohm 0 for 2 today. Grounded out to third. That was in the second inning. Struck out swinging in the fourth. Tilke. That one's low. Gets away from Sherman, and advancing to second base is Ducharme on the wild pitch. So Lakers get runner in scoring position, trying to keep this game going to another inning here. 13-3, Otters are up. And it's a 1-1 count to Jared Ohm. Tilke to the plate, and that's fouled, chopped into the home plate area, and it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Otters with Caleb Froning at third and Cam Wiedrich at short. Micah Johnson's at second. Hunter Powers at first. It's Brent Sherman behind the plate. Parker Tilke's on the mound as Ohm calls for time. And then it is John Dent in left, Levi King in center, and Logan Larson in right. Here's the pitch, and strike 3, got him looking. That was a beauty of a pitch by Tilke. And the Otters are 1 out away from closing this out if they can end this inning with a 10-run lead. They lead at 13-3. And that's strikeout number 5 for Parker Tilke, who's been lights out in relief here for Fergus Falls. And that'll bring it to the top of the order. Noah Germain, the catcher. And the pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Germain 0 for 2. Flew out to right in the first, walked, and was caught stealing in the second, and struck out looking in the fourth. 0-1 pitch from Tilke. Swing, ground ball up the middle, high hop, fielded at short by Wiedrich. Throws it across to first. He's out to end the game. What a play to end the game. And a little bit of a fortunate hop off the mound that kept it from going into center field. And then Wiedrich leapt in the air with a beauty of a play coming across the middle and threw out Germain at first. And that will end the game. That little hop got the game over as it's now 13-3, the final score on our Park Region Service Beyond the Connection scoreboard. 13-3. The Otters win it. They're now above 500 on the year. They improved their record to 8-7 with this doubleheader sweep over the Lakers. 15-4 in 6 innings in Game 1 and 13-3 in 6 innings in Game 2. So we'll take a break. It's time for our Olson Oil Card Express post-game show. And when we come back, we'll also name our quality player of the game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. Great day of baseball for the Otters. They win 2, and they're now 8-7 on the air. Take a break, and back with our Olson Oil Card Express post-game show in just a moment.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Every team has a home field advantage. Make yours the internet from Park Region. With speeds that keep up with the pace of the game and the reliability to never miss a play, you'll always be connected. Get the internet that's always in your corner. Park Region, your home team's internet advantage.
Otter Tail Minn-Dakota Coaches has been the trusted name in transportation for 50 years. Safety, service, and dependability are at the heart of every journey. From local routes to nationwide trips, rely on Otter Tail Coaches for a ride you can trust.
The key to a great meal is at the Viking Cafe of Fergus Falls. The Viking Cafe with Minnesota's best omelet, manhole cover pancakes, and burgers that will fill your appetite. The key to a great breakfast and lunch is at the Viking Cafe, downtown Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Scott DeBrito. I had the privilege of wearing the Otter uniform. Today, I have the privilege of representing FM Bank here in Fergus Falls. Show your Otter pride with our Otter debit card. Stop in and see us or visit our website at mybankfm.com.
What's your number?
We drove 5.2 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
I drove 7 miles to get a great deal from Quality Toyota.
Quality Toyota.
And the Otters close out a doubleheader sweep. They won game 1 in 6 innings, 15-4, and then they won game 2 in 6 innings here, 13-3, and it was a beauty of a final play. It was the ball, a hard hit ball that seemed like it was destined to get to the outfield to keep the game going. And replay? Yeah, we got a replay app. Here we go on the Fergus Now app, the replay of Cam Weidrich's play up the middle, and it looked like it was going into center field, ricocheted off the mound, popped up in the air, and Weidrich leapt in the air, made the play coming across the middle, and was able to end the game on a great play coming across to first base, and the Otters win it 13-3. And looking at the recap of game 2 of our doubleheader, the Otters kept that streak going. They scored in all 6 innings they played in game 1, and they scored in all 6 innings they played in game 2, as they scored 2 in the first inning. Then Detroit Lakes answered with 2 of their own in the bottom of the first with a 2-run, 2-out single by Eli Hatch. But then the Otters picked up 1 in the second inning, and then opened it up a bit with 4 in the third. Kind of a strange inning where it felt like 4 was almost the least amount they could have gotten, as Henry Peters on the mound for Detroit Lakes really was laboring. And the Otters kept the offense going, got some good timely hits, had some discipline, drawing walks. And then you got to give Parker Tilke a ton of credit. Micah Johnson started the game, gave the Otters a couple innings of work, and his pitch count kind of got up there. It was up to 52 through 2 innings pitched and a couple base runners on. Parker Tilke came in relief and was just outstanding as he finished off the last 4 innings of the game, and he had 5 strikeouts and no earned runs and 2 hits and only 1 walk. Just a great game in relief for Parker Tilke, shutting down the Lakers from that 3rd inning on when he came into the game, and that was a huge boost. And the Otters just keep tacking on more runs each and every inning on their way to a 13-3 victory here to improve their record to 8-7. And looking at some of the nice individual offensive performances, you look at John Dent, left fielder. He was 2 for 3 in the game with a walk and 3 runs scored. And Hunter Powers was 1 for 2, but he reached base 4 times, 2 walks, a hit by pitch, a single. He scored 3 times, stole a couple of bases. Karsten Froning had 3 steals in the game and was 1 for 4 with a walk, a pair of runs. Levi King, good day at the plate both games. Levi in this one was 2 for 2 with 2 walks and a run and a stolen base. And Levi was on base, I believe, 3 times in game 1. So a couple good games offensively there for Levi King. So with that, we're going to name our quality player of the game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. And for screen printing and embroidery on custom apparel with the best in personal service around, contact Lake Country Graphics at 1223 North Union Avenue in Fergus Falls. Call 998-4027. That's 998-4027 for Lake Country Graphics. And last game, we did some honorable mention. And honorable mention for this one, I think John Dent, left fielder. He didn't start the first game. He got a pinch hit single and scored a run in game 1. Well, in game 2, he got the start in left field. And he was 2 for 3 with a single, a double, a walk, 3 runs scored, and an RBI. So a great game at the plate for John Dent. You look at Levi King, what he did in both games, but again, he was 2 for 2 on base all 4 times in game 2 with a couple of walks, runs scored, stolen base. And Hunter Powers also reached base 4 times, scoring three times with a couple of steals. So some real good individual offensive performances there. And then but I think we got to go with Parker Tilke. Parker was our honorable mention in game 1 with his 3 for 3 3-run scored at the plate. But then he was the difference maker on the mound. Came in relief, 4 shutout innings, 5 strikeouts, only 1 walk, no earned runs, and only 2 hits given up. And a great performance for Parker Tilke coming in on the mound. He also 1 for 4 from the plate with a run scored, but it was his mound work that was huge. Parker Tilke is our quality player of the game, sponsored by Quality Toyota and Lake Country Graphics. More than anything, though, the highlight I haven't brought up, we talked about the keys to the game earlier, sponsored by the Viking Cafe and Fergus Falls Apothecary before game 1, and defense was what both coaches brought up, and Shane Tilke wanted to see good defense, and it was a little bit shaky in game 1. The Otters had 5 errors in game 1. Well, game 2, no errors in 6 innings of play. They made smart, good plays. They executed when the pressure was on them defensively. They cut a player off at home. No errors in game 2, and it kind of ended the way expected. Cam Wiedrich outstanding defensively throughout at shortstop, and it ended in a fitting way. Otters making a great defensive play with Wiedrich coming across the middle and cutting off the runner at first to end it. And Coach Tilke's got to be thrilled with his defense today in game 2. No errors. That's got to be the highlight statistic for game 2 for the Otters. So with that, just a reminder again, we mentioned earlier there was a schedule change for Fergus Falls. And instead of playing Thursday at West Fargo, they will be playing at Champlin Park on Thursday, this Thursday, May 15th. That's a 1:30 start. 1:30 start at Champlin Park. And the Otters, so that schedule change, they'll be in the Twin Cities area on Thursday at 1:30. We will have one more game covered on our Layton Media stations here, and next week on Channel 977 and streaming live on the Fergus Now app. A week from Thursday on May 22nd, Perm is in town, and we'll have coverage of that right here on Channel 977, 4:45 pregame, 5 o'clock first pitch, and Mark Johnson will be here for the call on that one. Again, that'll be streamed live on the Fergus Now app and right here on Channel 977. And just a reminder, in Game 1, Otters won 15-4 in 6 innings. Isaac Ellison, a great pitching performance, 6 innings, 1 earned, 3 hits, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. And then Otters win Game 2 in 6 innings as well, 13-3. So with that, the Otters improved to 8-7 on the year, 5-6 in Central Lakes Conference play. So that's going to do it for us here. And we thank you for joining us for this doubleheader and a really good day for the Otter baseball program. A couple of wins, 15-4 and 13-3. So with that, we're going to sign off from Legion Field at D Lagoon Park in Fergus Falls. This is Jason Retzloff, and for Dave Bishop with our help on the production on the live stream. We thank you for listening to Otter Baseball, streaming live and on Channel 977.
Make OSPTI your choice for outpatient rehabilitation and sports injuries with locations in Fergus Falls, Breckenridge, and Hankinson. Orthopedic and sports physical therapy is the right choice for your recovery. Live your best life. Trust the experts at OSPTI.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food.
Light powers your day, and with LEDs, every time you turn on a light, it's a chance to save. See how Ottertail Power Company can help you save at otpco.com/LED.
Where to eat, the ultimate culinary adventure, from signature dishes to chef recommendations.
As your food review professionals, you can find us at KBRFradio.com, the Fergus Now app, and on YouTube.
Tune in every first Friday of the month for new episodes.
Check us out, and we'll show you where to eat.
Welcome to Minnesota Motor Company.
We're proud to be a part of this community.
And proud to be your dealership.
Minnesota Motor.
Serve your family and friends the best. Certified Angus beef from the meat department at Service Food. Special cuts and orders always welcome. Service Food, West Lincoln Avenue, Fergus Falls.
Service Food. Serving you best.
At Fergus Falls Monument Company, Ryan and Mike want you to design a personal memorial for your loved one that will fully express your personal sentiment and that of your loved one. Fergus Falls Monument on Pebble Lake Road, online, foreverstonememorials.com.
Nelson Auto Center in Fergus Falls and Grand Forks is your shopping stop for America's 3 favorite truck brands, Ford, Ram, and GMC. Whether you're towing, hauling, or just enjoying the open road, we have a truck for you. Half, 3/4, and 1 ton. There's a truck for every job. Stop and visit or shop any of our stores at NelsonAutoCenter.com. Nelson Auto Center, Fergus Falls and Grand Forks.
Every team.
Thank you for joining us for a special KBRFradio.com video streaming production. Tonight's game is proudly brought to you by Otter Tail Power Company and your Otter Tail Power Company pregame show. Park Region and your Park Region scoreboard. Minnesota Motor Company and your Minnesota Motor Company halftime show. Lake Region Healthcare and your Lake Region Healthcare timeouts. Ogstead Plumbing and Heating with your game time and temperature. Viking Cafe and Fergus Falls Apothecary with your keys to the game. Olson Oil Card Express and your Olson Oil Card Express postgame show. Quality Toyota and your Quality Toyota player of the game. Nelson Auto Center and your Nelson starting lineups. Otter Tail County AIS Task Force. Liberty Business Systems. Service Food of Fergus Falls. Fergus Falls Monument. Orthopedic Sports and Physical Therapy Incorporated. Otter Tail Coach.